By now you're probably noticing that there's a lot of information in 12-3 because this is 12-3 part 3. I have divided it into 3 separate lessons. And now that you're on part 3, you're starting to see that there is a lot of stuff packed into this one lesson. Anyway, today it is so important that you copy these little steps down, because what we are going to have to do is we are going to have to write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. And they're going to start by giving us 2 ordered pairs. Then we're going to take those 2 ordered pairs and find the slope using the slope formula. Then we have to plug the slope and one of the ordered pairs back in so we can find the y-intercept, or b. And then we have to write the equation. So what I've found when I'm teaching this is that many kids do one part and stop. They don't understand that they have 4 steps. So I would like for you to stop the video, write down the 4 steps, because we are going to go through them every time we work one of these examples. Plus you'll need them for homework. Now another struggle in this particular part is the directions. So you've got to clue in to some important parts of these directions. When you do this, when you use the 4 steps, is when it says write the equation of the line that passes through, and it gives 2 points in slope-intercept form. It's saying take these 2 points and figure out the slope-intercept form of the line. So you've got to know the directions as well. So you might want to make some notes on that. Now, step 1 said they gave us 2 points. Yes, they did. Step 1, there's the 2 points. Okay? Step 2, find the slope. Well, remember the slope formula, m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So, first thing you need to do is label your points. Okay? So, x1, y1, x2, y2. Then, you're going to plug those points into the formula. So y2, negative 1 minus y1, 1, over 2 minus negative 3. That gives me negative 2 over 5. That's the slope. So I've got m. Okay? That was step 2. We found the slope. That's what we need. Now, step 3 said we're going to take the slope and we're going to take one of the ordered pairs and plug them into an equation so that we can find b. So the equation we're going to use, of course, is y equals mx plus b, because don't we want it to be in that form anyway? So we have to pick one of these points. It doesn't matter which point. Okay? It makes absolutely no difference. So I'm just going to pick this one. I could have picked the first one, gotten the same answer. Sometimes I pick the easier point. This one, they both look about the same to me. So I'm just going to pick one and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to use this point up here for my x and my y. See, because isn't that an x and that's a y? So I could do that. So I'm going to put negative 1 in for y. And I'm going to put in my slope. I already found that. That's negative 2/5. Right? And I'm going to also put in my x, which is 2. And then I'm going to write down plus b. Now, I have all of the numbers in place to solve for b. Okay? It's not always going to be pretty to solve for b, because there will be fractions and things involved. Like I'm already seeing a fraction right here. But I'm going to solve for b. So the first step to solve for b, I need to get this together into one number because it's multiplying. So, first thing is put my whole number over 1. So, that's going to be negative 4/5 because I'm going to go 2 times 2, that's negative 2 times 2, that's negative 4. 5 times 1 is 5. So, now I have negative 1 equals negative 4/5 plus b. Now I want to find out what b is, right? So my brain is already sort of telling me, well, I just need one more fifth to get 1. But in algebra, if we went plus 4/5 plus 4/5, we could figure out what the answer is to this equation. Now, I'm going to stop and erase, and I'm going to write this back up at the top of my page because we're running out of room. And then we'll keep going. Okay, here's where we were. So we did plus 4/5. Oops, that's a fourth. And plus 4/5. So to find b, I've just got to go, okay, what in the world is -1 and positive 4/5? Well, if -1 was written as fifths, couldn't that be -5/5? Wouldn't that be -1? And then if I added 4/5, that's -5 plus positive 4, so that's -1/5. So b equals -1/5. Now, most kids stop there and think they're finished, but they're not, because there's one more step. And the one more step is actually the answer, the part that's going to get graded. Because this was just step 3. Step 4 says, write the equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and write an equation in this form. Because now I know what b is. And I know what m is, and I know what b is. So I'm going to use y equals, what was m? M was -2/5. X, what was b? -1/5. So you could put -1/5, or you could have even put y equals -2/5 x plus -1/5, because aren't minus and plus a negative the same? But one of these things has to be your answer. Those are both correct. They're both the same, because minus and plus a negative. Now you've done the 4th step, and you're finished with this problem. See how it's a process? Some of us are confused. Let's do another one. Now, I'm not going to write the directions out again because of space, but remember, these directions say, write the equation of the line that passes through 3, -4, and -1/4 in slope-intercept form. So, here we are. We have our 2 ordered pairs. So this is our step 1. We got 2 ordered pairs. We found them. They're in our thing. Step 2, we have to find the slope. Remember the formula? The formula, m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So label your points. x1, y1, x2, y2. Find your slope. That's what you do next. So 4 minus -4 over -1 minus 3. Well, 4 minus -4 is 8, because minus a negative is plus a positive. And -1 minus 3 is -4. And this will reduce down to -2, because 8 divided by 4 is 2. Positive divided by negative. So m is -2. That's nice. I like it when m is a whole number. Okay, now that's step 2. We just did step 2. Step 2. This whole thing in the middle was step 2. Now step 3. We have to plug the slope and one of the ordered pairs back in to our y equals mx plus b and try to find b, because we don't have b yet. We have to have b and m to write the equation. So for step 3, we're going to choose one of the ordered pairs. It really doesn't matter which one. Last time we chose the second one, so this time we'll choose the first one just for some variety. And we're going to do this, y equals mx plus b. We're going to put in all of the parts that we know from here and here, because we don't know b. So we know y is -4, because that's our y value. We know m is -2. We know x is 3. And we don't know what b is, so we just write down plus b. Now we do some math. negative 4 equals, that's going to be negative 6 plus b. So, let me rewrite that over here. Negative 4 equals negative 6 plus b. Now if we do plus 6 plus 6, we're going to find out that b equals 2. And this whole thing we just did is step 3. Step 3. We found b. So now we're not quite finished. We have one more step. Step 4, we have to rewrite this equation, and we have to use m is negative 2, we have to use b is 2, and write it in slope-intercept form. Well, that's easy, because y equals mx plus b, and we found out that m was negative 2, so negative 2x, and we found out that b was 2. There's the equation. That's the answer to this whole thing. Every time you have to go through all 4 steps, find all of the parts to be able to do this. Okay, here's your video homework. You're going to write the equation of the line that passes through each pair of points in slope-intercept form. And we all know that means you're going to go through the 4 steps, find all the parts, and come out with y equals mx plus b equation, like y equals 2x plus 4, or y equals 3x minus 7. At the end, the answer is the equation you've written. Have a lovely evening.